All right, welcome to Piece of Art and Soul Studio. So I am going to be showing you today how to trace onto your canvas, and we're going to be doing the Witch's End tracing for the Witch's End art kit. So this is on a 12 by 16, and I have the 12 by 16 tracer that came in your kit. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to put your tracer together and how to put your I'm going to spread out a little bit because I have a lot of room to work with here, and how to trace it onto your canvas. That way you have it on your canvas and ready to go when you go and paint it. Okay. All right. So here we go. We are going to go ahead and start. I hope you're having a wonderful day. All right. So to start, you're going to notice when you get your tracer, I'm going to make sure that I'm not, okay, because it's glitching over here. Uh-oh, it glitched over here. When you get your tracer, you're going to notice these little dotted lines. So if you see the dotted lines on here, just know that those dotted lines are for you and to guide you to make sure you fold. You're going to fold on those dotted lines. So I'm going to start on this side. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it hasn't glitched, or hopefully it hasn't buffered. If it has, I apologize. Hopefully it's not, because it shows that it is on this side, but maybe hopefully it hasn't on that side. So you're going to fold this part of the tracer part. So you're just going to fold on the dotted line. Now you're going to need your masking tape. So you are going to need masking tape. So I use just regular masking tape. I got it at the Dollar Tree. You can go to the Dollar Tree and buy your masking tape. So then I just take my masking tape. I just take a little bit of the masking tape, and I take maybe a couple inches of the masking tape, and you're going to line it up with your trees. So you're going to take this part and you're just going to kind of line it up, and it should line up really, really well. This one's a little more easier than some of the other ones that I've used before. So you're going to want to line it up with your trees. And it's okay if they don't line up as perfectly as if you want them to. Usually I just line them up. And then you're just going to want to tape the side. I got too much tape, so I'm not going to go all the way. So you're going to tape the side over here. Make sure you don't tape it to your canvas. So I'm going to tape it to the side over here. So yeah, I'm taping it to the side. I'm going to show you up here because I don't know if it's glitching on my other end or not. And then you're going to tape it on the other side. Like so. Okay. There we go. There's that. Now I know you probably noticed that there's lines on this side too. So yes, you're going to have, oh, that's not the right one. Yes, you're going to have more lines that you're going to have to fold. So we're going to take the bottom, which is the grave site one. You're going to take that one and you're going to fold that one. Okay. I'm going to fold that one, and you're going to take that one, but you're also going to fold the top one. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and fold the top one too, because when you go and put it down, you're going to want to make sure that that one lines with the top one as well. So now I'm just going to turn it to the side. Now I want to line it up with this one as well as I can. And it's really easy because they have lines on them. You just line it up as well as you can. It's not a big deal if it's not perfect. You can fix your lines if it comes down to it. There's times that I've accidentally did not do it as perfect and I just fixed my lines. You want to make sure your tree lines are perfect, or not perfect, but kind of there. Okay. And in the video, I do show you how to fix your lines. I do show you how to do your lines without the tracer, especially with the grass and stuff and the trees. So if you do end up messing up your lines here, it is okay. And then you're going to want to put one in the middle. Am I going to put one in the middle? I'm not going to put one in the middle. I'm going to wait till I get the other one in. Okay. Now we're going to do the last one. So the last one's a little bit tricky, but we're going to go ahead and fold this side. So we're going to fold this side. Okay. And then this one's going to kind of go under because it's, whew, my nose itches. Okay. We're going to kind of go on there and we're going to line up the broom for the witch and the moon. Like so. As best as we can. And the windows. Like I said, it's okay if it's not totally perfect. Sometimes it's not perfect. Doesn't get on there all perfectly. I try my best to get it there perfectly. Okay, that's as perfect as I'm probably gonna get it. I don't think I'm gonna get it any perfect than this. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get it perfectly than this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and do my side over here. And then I'm gonna do my other side up here. And it's okay if it's off because you're gonna go over the lines anyways. And then I actually show you how to do it on there too. So, all right, so now you are ready to start tracing. Once your tracer is ready and put together, now you're ready to trace, okay? So now to trace, your kit came with carbon paper. So this is transfer paper. It's gray transfer paper. Sometimes our kits come with white tracer paper when it's on a black canvas, but this is gray paper for white canvases. So this is going to be used on the shiny part. So when you open it up, you have the dull side. This is the dull side. And you can tell because it looks really dull. But then when you open it up, there's a shiny side. So you see the shiny side, you're gonna wanna put it on the bottom of your canvas. Make sure it's on the bottom of your canvas and make sure it's covered all the way onto your canvas, okay? So make sure it's all the way covered down. And what I like to do is I like to tuck, when I have a smaller canvas, I like to tuck it under and then I like to tape it to my canvas. That way it doesn't move. So like I like to tape it to the back of my canvas a little bit. That way it does not move when I am doing my transfer of my design. And then I just so I turn it over and then I just kind of tape it to the back. Okay, there we go. That's done. And now I'm gonna put my design on top. And now I'm gonna kind of fill in, I'm gonna kind of fill to see where my sides are. Now, if my design might not fit all the way onto it, which is totally okay. But I wanna make sure that my witch is all the way on. Now, if my tree's not all the way go on, that's totally okay. If this doesn't go all the way on, that's totally okay. I wanna make sure my house is kind of on there. Yeah, let's make sure that's on there. Make sure my house is on there. Let's move this over a little bit. If my tree branches aren't all the way on, that's okay. Because I can always do my tree branches a little further out, which is okay. All right, so now that I have my tracer in place where I want it, I'm gonna tape it down, okay? Make sure you tape it down where you want it. All right, I'm gonna make sure that's taped down. Because if once it's taped down, that's where it's gonna go. And you don't want it to come up because then it'll be offset. So it'll be messed up if you accidentally move it and then you're like, uh-oh, oops. And then you're in trouble. All right. And we can always just do our branches a little further out if we wanted to, if you're kind of off the edge with, because I feel it's kind of off the edge a little bit, which is okay. I can't really move it over anymore because my house is kind of off and I want my house a little more onto the canvas. All right, so now you're gonna grab a pen. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pen. Let's see, doesn't matter what color pen you're using. I'm gonna use green, that way I can see what I'm doing and seeing where I'm missing my spots. I like to start at the end of my canvas. So I'm gonna show you where I'm starting. I'm gonna show you, I'm starting at the end of my canvas. And I like to start at the end because I want to make sure I get every single line on my tracer. So I start at the end. You can start where you want. And I usually like to use a different color. And the reason why I use a different color is that so I can go back just in case I miss something, because I've done that before. I've missed a spot accidentally, and I've had to go back in and look at it and fill it in, which is okay. That happens. Sometimes we miss, tracing something, which is totally okay. But I like to try to use a different color so that I can see what I have traced and what I have not traced. Now you can trace every little bit of line on here you want. You don't have to trace every bit of line you don't want to trace. It is totally up to you. And if you want to trace it in black afterwards with marker, you totally can. If you want to leave it with just pencil, you can, because it'll come off looking like it's has pencil marks on it. So when you take it off, and I'll show you once we're done, when you take it off, it'll look like it's been penciled in. And so you can leave it like that, and you can paint over your canvas with your pencil marks, or you can fill it in with black marker or black paint, whichever you feel comfortable doing. I usually just paint over with my background, and that usually is fine. When I'm done with my tracer, I just do the background, and it works just fine because you can still see the lines. And even when I don't see the lines, I can look at the picture and determine where my lines were. But because this one has gray in it, you're gonna be able to see the lines in them when you're painting the background and the ground area. So just remember that you have a choice to either black ink you can outline it in black ink, or you can just leave it as is once you're done tracing it. It is totally up to you. So now I'm done with down here. I'm gonna do the trees. Now, like I said, I kind of went off the edge, and if that happens to you, it is totally okay. Don't freak out. Just remember, don't move your canvas underneath it. Keep it as still as possible when you're tracing it. Some people like to tape the tracer to their canvas. You can do that too. You can totally tape it to your canvas. I've done that too. I can totally do that too, but I didn't do that. I just taped it to the table. So I am off the canvas, which is totally okay. I'm just gonna pretend that my tree kind of went off the canvas, which is pretty cool in my eyes. I think that's cool that my tree did that. You can keep it like that, or if you feel like you want to not have that, then you can move your canvas over a little bit if you feel comfortable doing so. So I am just tracing the trees. And I go a little bit at a time, and take your time. I'm doing a little faster because I want this video to be, and it is a little off right here, but that's okay. Because I want this video to be short. I don't want it to be too long to where you're just watching me tracing, because then I want you to be able to get to work in the next video where we actually do the work. I'm just tracing the trees, which is pretty easy to do. They're just lines. It's just tracing a whole bunch of lines. And if you skip any lines, it is totally okay. You can just put your own lines in there when you're done. Because sometimes that happens. Like I'll sit here and I'm like, okay, I did all my lines. Yep. And then I'll take my tracer off and I'm like, oh no, I forgot a whole bunch of lines. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to put my own lines in. And that happens. It happens, and that's okay. One time I skipped a whole entire section. I'm like, oh, and I had to put the tracer back on there. I was like, oh no, and I had to put the tracer back on there. So sometimes you can get away with just tracing it, drawing it on there free-handed. And sometimes you have to like actually put the tracer back on there and do it. Yeah. Lesson learned. I've learned a lot of those lessons as I've learned to do art in my lifetime. And the more you do this, the more you trace, and the more you do this type of art, and the more you create. I know I'm going a little further. So I kind of, okay, so this one went off the edge. There we go. Kind of go off the edge with that one. Okay. The more you create and the more you do, the more you learn how to do things in a more different conventional way, and a more creative way. You find ways to do things that you would never think that you would learn how to do, and you find other ways to do them than you would not normally do. All right, now we're gonna do the house. I think I got all the branches. Nope, I left, see, look, I left one branch out. See what happens? I got the talking and then I forgot one branch. I'm gonna go ahead and do half the moon over here. That way I don't forget this half, because sometimes that happens. I'll forget half of something over here, because then I get totally distracted. But yeah, like with art, you learn things and you start figuring things out as you go. And so now we're on the house. And that's kind of how I learned how to do art, was just learning how to do things as I went. And over the years, it really helped me hone my abilities. I mean, I learned how to do it, and I kind of have to do this over here because I went off the page, so I have to, yeah, it kind of went off the page, so I'm having to my house went off the page a little bit. So if that happens to you, just kind of make a line, because it went off the page a little bit. Yeah, it went off the page. I don't know why it went off the page, but it did. So growing up, I drew a lot, I doodled a lot in class, and and I loved art, and I love to do art a lot. And I didn't really like to do anything else. That was just my thing. I have always loved art. And that was just something that I love to do. And with some people, they're like, I don't know, art isn't my thing. And that's totally okay. That's cool. Sometimes some people just not into art, and that's cool. Why does it look odd over here? Hold on. It looks a little odd over here. I think I kind of messed up the side over here. Let me look at my photo. Let me look at my sample. Oh, you know why? Because it's off. Okay, I messed it up. Sorry. So it's supposed to be off right here. And I messed up right here. Sorry. I messed up. That's my bad. It's okay. All right, now we're gonna finish the moon. Oh, I got one more window. I looked at it weird. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh wait, no, it's right there. I looked at it weird because it was kind of off the edge, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this isn't right. So yeah, this is it. I think it was just the printing. For some reason, it printed off weird. I have to look at that one again. Okay. So this one printed off weird. So when you do it, it'll have just a little mark. So when you go and you trace it, just do a little line here, a line here, because there'll only be a line right here, and 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 a line right here. So you're just gonna kind of go a line here, and a line here. You're gonna kind of bring it down. You're gonna bring it down. Yeah, you're gonna bring it down, and then you're just gonna kind of make a little curve right here. I don't know if you saw what I was doing. I'll show you when I take it off. I kind of went down right here, but you'll ignore that whenever I show you. All right, let's go ahead and finish the moon. Yeah, because I don't know what happened. I think it printed off weird, and that's just how that tracer printed. So, right, there we go. All right, let's finish the witch with the witch, and we should be done. So just remember when you do the tracer, that part of the house is a little cut off right there. And you're just gonna kind of do like a little curve at the end. No biggie. And I'll show you when I take it off. You're almost done, guys. Can you believe it? I can. Tracing kind of goes by quickly when you're just tracing lines. It's pretty much all you're doing. And you don't have to trace the inner lines if you don't want to. You can if you want. If you want to know like where the lines go for the outline, like well, of course you got to do this because that's the inside of her. Make sure I get her boot. Oh my goodness, she would not have a boot. All right, so we're done. So we're gonna go ahead and open her up. All right, so we'll take it off. And you can keep the tracer. You can use it one more time. I usually use it one more time after I'm done with it. After a while, it just kind of like gets holes in it and stuff. So use it one more time. I've used it like maybe one time afterwards. You can just toss it aside. All right, so let's go ahead and take off our tracer paper. There we go. And as you can see, the trees have kind of come out kind of funky a little bit, which is okay. Because you could see like this, like what I was talking about with the, I don't know if you could see, it's a little grainy, but I'll show you up here. So as you could see with the house, how it came out with the side, like how I did the side over here. I'm gonna erase it though. I kind of went over a little darker than usual. But as you could see, the house is curved a little bit. So when you go and you, when you're tracing it, just make sure you're gonna do, like when you do it, you just kind of curve it on this side. So, all right, so that is it. When you do it, make sure you press hard enough. When you press hard enough. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on there. Okay. So when you go and you do trace it on there, make sure you are pressing hard enough to where it shows up on there. My trees barely showed up because I didn't press hard enough. I should have pressed hard enough on there, which is totally okay. Just make sure when you trace and you're doing it, just to press as hard as you can with the pen. I think that's where the tape was. Sometimes when you put the tape on there, it won't transfer sometimes. So you really have to press as hard as you can. So I hope this was informative, and I hope that you enjoy the next video and painting this one. This one was a fun one, guys. This one's really fun. I enjoyed painting this one, and I can't wait to paint this one again. Like, this one was really, really fun. So yeah, let's get to painting this one. All right, guys. I will see you guys and painting this one. All right. Bye.